Hey yo, what's going on guys? It's Mike Reed here. Welcome back to another tour review by yours truly. And today we have yet another Lego review. And this one is, well, I guess you could say kind of a follow-up to a review I did earlier this year. Today we are taking a look at the Lego Technic Service Space Loader LT78. Yes, so this is yet another part of the Lego Technic Space Initiative from last year. And, oh boy, this is, like I said, quite an interesting release. So, taking a look at the box for this guy, of course you do have the Lego Technic logo up there. And of course we got the awesome classic space logo right there. And of course, we do have the Surface Space Loader LT78 text right there, set 42178. And of course, we do get a nice little visual of the space loader, just kind of exploring a Martian surface there. And of course, it does have 435 pieces. So, not the biggest set in the world, but certainly not the smallest either. Of course, on this side, we do have the space logos again, but in different languages. And on the back, we do get, again, our Lego Technic logo again, the set number. And we do get a little QR code, so that way you can build this on your Lego apps and everything like that. And of course, here we get, of course, the Lego website link. We get some nice product shots. It does this, that, the other. And of course, on this side, we get the Lego Technic logo. You get another little render of the space loader. And on the top here, we do get a side view of the space loader, and we do get a 1-to-1 scale of the actual wheel size. And if you flip it around to the bottom, you get the Lego Technic logo again. Lego Technic logo again. And of course you get the Lego apps and a whole bunch of legal jargon. So, with all that out of the way, and with a quick jump cut, let's go ahead and take a look at the Space Loader LT78. And here it is. Yeah, it's not really much of a looker, is it? Let me quickly adjust the lighting here since it is a little tricky to see with all this. There we go. Okay, yeah. So, there you have the space loader right there. And as you can see, it is a pretty nice little vehicle. Of course, this is essentially like a rover type vehicle. And, oh boy, does it show. So, on the surface, right, there's not really much going on with this guy. I mean, but of course, as the box would suggest, this guy does have a few tricks up its sleeve. But let's go ahead and start with the front. Taking a look at the front, I just had to put it up like this. You guys can see you do get this very nice clear window piece, which is very nice to see. And on the inside, even though it is kind of this smoky sort of black color, sort of, or just smoky color there, you do have a little interior in there. We'll have to pop this off so that you guys can see here in a second. And as you guys can see, there is some nice detailing there. If we open this up, you guys can see a little bit more of the internal detail. Of course, you do have a little monitor there, if I can move the wheel out of the way. So you do get a little dashboard right here. Of course, you get a little indicator of the Martian surface right there. So I'm guessing there are cameras everywhere on this thing, just like its big brother, the Mars Crew Exploration Rover. And if we push that back into place there, you can kind of see, if I move this out of the way, the interior of the seating there. Of course, you do have all the different buckles and the different little what do you call it, belts on there. And of course, you have the 0, I think that's 05 on there. So that is quite interesting. Now, of course, you can neatly fold this all up and then just pop the top right back on. Like so. And there you have that. So all in all, not too bad. Now as we turn our attentions to the side of the vehicle, obviously we do get some more sticker detailing, as there's a lot of stickers on this. Not as much as the last set we looked at, but definitely some stickers nonetheless. So of course right here we do get the LT78 decal right there. Of course up here we do get like some various different warning signs. We get like a little caution there. Of course get the classic space logo once again. Yeah, of course at the top here of the hood we do get some more caution. We get some arrows going on, LT78. All that stuff is right there. And if we look over here, we do have this little lift icon right there, which that plays into one of the play features, which we'll look at here in a second. And of course, we do get some more detailing for the rear wheels, which are always nice to see. And as we spin our way to the back, we do get some more sticker detailing, which again, these all tie into the play features, but we'll talk about those again in a second. And of course at the top we do get some more technical details. Of course we get some different warning signs and some various different belts and latches to secure everything together. And then of course on this side, ditto for the other side, except of course you do have this LT78 sticker on the top, sort of armor detail right there. And over here on this little part you do have a little caution logo there as well. So what are the play features of this guy? Well, first and foremost, on the back, as you saw, there is this big steering wheel right here. Now, if you turn that, you will turn the wheels. So that way you can steer this vehicle across the Martian surface. So that is excellent to see there. And of course, it does use a very simple sort of, I guess you could say, rack and pinion system there to make those wheels turn. So that is good. And you do get I would say, a pretty good range of steering out of this. It's not too steep, not too shallow, just right smack in the middle. Then, of course, this big red knob here ties into the main play feature of the set, and that is, of course, the sort of transformation gimmick we get. So, if we go ahead and open up this lever here, all the way up, and we twist the little red knob, watch as the vehicle slowly transforms. And now we have it in this sort of high alpha mode, is what I like to call this. Since the box doesn't really, or the instructions don't really describe what this mode is, so I just call it the high alpha mode, because that just sounds awesome and technical and nifty. So now that it's up in this position, what can it do? Well, underneath here, as you will see, these tiny little arms are revealed. Look at that. And if we zoom in on the little arms, you can see we get two different arms here. So first and foremost, we have this little arm, which kind of goes, it has little pins in it, so that way it can move around. So you can move it all the way around and kind of spin it around and everything. And of course, you can spin the claw within the arm itself. And of course, you can use this to pick up different samples or just move away detritus as you're exploring the Martian surfaces that this is on, right? And then, of course, over here, we have this little scanner type thing, which I want to say it's a metal detector, so that we can detect any sort of metals or any sort of rare, right, rare earth or just rare metals, right, within the alien surface. So that is awesome as well. And, of course, while it's in this mode, you can still activate the steering mechanism, so you can still... steer this thing around. So that's still functional, even in this mode. And as well, we do get access to this back feature here with this red knob. Now, if you push this direction, all of a sudden this whole section will move. And that ties into the lift mechanism because, yes, just like its big brother, the Mars Crew Exploration Rover, this one does have a lift on it. And of course, on this side, you can move the little arm here to raise and lower the lift. Now, what exactly would this thing be carrying, you might ask? Well, you get this crate. Now, let's focus a little bit more on this crate, shall we? So moving the little rover out of the way here. Here we have this big old crate. Now, similarly to the crates that we got with its big brother, right, this thing is pretty nice. in terms of its size and its form factor. Of course, you get the orange little airlocks here, which, as I'll show here in a bit, does work at least somewhat with its big brother. So I'll show that here in a bit. Because yes, they are designed to be to work across multiple different units here. So that is awesome. And of course on this side we do get a little sticker with a caution there. Of course we get the 78 logo. And if we lift that up, what do we get inside? Well, we get a little sample of some microbial life inside of this little case. Get some dirt out of there. There we go. Does look quite nice in there. Now what is nice too is that you do also get this little green piece right here, which if you want, you can actually take that tile out and you can swap it out with this green part, so that way you can simulate some plant life that you've collected off of the Martian surface. So that is awesome as well. And of course you can store that anywhere on the little canister here. I just prefer to keep it on the side so that way it doesn't get lost. But that is pretty nice. And of course you can also open it from the other side as well to gain access from this side as well. So how does this work with the loader? Well, if you bring it back into frame here, we can just simply drive it over. And you can just simply hook it on to the little hook here. And then all you do is just push the lever and up it goes. And then you can very slightly, and I mean very slightly, push the little arm back up ever so slightly. And then you can drive around on the Martian surface carrying around your little crate. Now, of course, it will kind of bump into the wheels, so it's probably for the best you just keep it outside like this. So that way you can drive around and, you know, explore the alien surface. So that is pretty nifty. And of course, to remove it, just simply lift it off. And there we go. Now, unlike its big brother, you can't store this on the back of the vehicle itself, sadly. So you'll just have to put that off to the side somewhere when not in use. And of course, to get it out of this high alpha mode, as I like to call it, you just simply tuck the little arms up, like so. And then you just ever so gently twist it, and it will slowly go back down. Just like that. And then you take the little lift latch, and you push that down like so. And there you have it back in its base form. Absolutely fantastic. And again, what's also nice about this set too is that it's not really based on any particular Mars rover or any sort of like spacecraft in particular. It's just kind of a nifty, fun little set. I'm kind of sad that Technic doesn't really do fun sort of sets like this. They always do the licensed stuff or like, you know, real world vehicles, but it's nice for them to do something that's a little more sci-fi sort of fantasy type. And that's definitely what we got here with this little space rover right here. So that is awesome. Super, super cool. And I think with that, let's go ahead and show off the functionality that this has with its big brother, the Mars Crew Exploration Rover. But before we do that, let's go ahead and do a quick comparison with its big brother. And as you guys can see, it is absolutely massive. I mean, of course, it is in its fully extended mode, as you would, of course, display it, or want to display it, but still, holy moly. This guy's big compared to this tiny little thing. But yeah, that's just hilarious. I can't even get them both in frame. It's so big. But let's go ahead and move him out of the way real quick. So that way, again, we can focus our attentions on its big brother once again. So, with the little canister here again, you can, of course, simply take this, and of course, you can use the lift on the Mars Crew Exploration Rover here to carry this onto the rover. Now, of course, how we're going to do that is pretty simple. You just do what we did back when I reviewed this guy originally. And we just simply open up the crane arm. Easier said than done, considering... Oh boy, I forgot how geary this thing is. Let alone how just slow this arm is to get out. There we go. Of course, you can extend the arm out a little bit. There we go. Actually, I think I have that backwards. I do have it backwards. Okay. Hold on. I need to lower you. Oh, boy. Give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, there we go. And, of course, move the camera. So, now that the arm is fully extended, we can go ahead and lower the little hook. And although there isn't exactly a, one and done spot to hook this on, I suppose we could maybe hook it on the side like that. That'll work. And of course, then you can just reverse it on up and carry it on to the rover. So you simply do that. And then you can just, of course, carry that with you on the rover. So that is super nice that you can do that. Now, of course, with the airlocks themselves, which we will need to do a quick jump cut here because getting this arm closed is not exactly easy on this big booger. So I'll go ahead and get this fixed up real quick. There we go. So now from this perspective, we can simply open up the back now. And of course you can just take the airlock here and you can just, I think, loosely hook that into place. Now, of course, if you move the little cases out of the way, I think this will make this a lot easier. So let me move the canisters, close this up, and let's see if that gives us enough room. There we go. So now, as you can see, you can kind of loosely hook this up to the rover, and you can imagine the astronauts, right, going in, collecting the sample, and analyzing it inside of the rover. So that is quite a nice idea. And of course, to get this back the way it was before, just kind of get these back where they were. Close that up. And with that, oh, and of course putting back the fuel tank. Can't forget that darn fuel tank. There you have your basic functionality right there with the Mars Crew Exploration Rover. So absolutely fantastic that it even works with this big guy. So with that, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this little review on the LEGO Technic Surface Loader LT78. If you guys did enjoy this review, then please make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell so that way you guys get notified for all my uploads. Do let me know in the comments what you guys want to see next, LEGO-wise, as, well, I definitely want to get the third and final member of this little space crew from last year, but we'll have to see since that one is, again, a very unique type of vehicle. Not to mention, I don't even know if I have enough space for that big thing. Pardon the pun. But we'll see what happens with that. When it does come time for me to potentially get that set into my possession. But, with all that said, later, Reed Squad, and have a good one.